Welcome to the Project Scope demo. In this session, we'll walk through the purpose of each test type, objectives, controls, and frameworks, and show you how to import all three into a project. Let's get started. For this demo, we'll start on a simple controls project. Click into it here. You'll find the Project Scope section under Planning on the left menu, no matter the project type. Click into it now. To begin, let's look at the purpose of the Project Scope tab. The top section, consistent across all project types, lets you capture and track many potential scoping attributes. You can include as much or as little detail as you'd like, depending on what's most relevant for your project. The bottom section is where you'll move processes or controls into scope for your project, and is the focus of this demo. This area varies based on the type defined in the project template. We'll walk through how this works for each of the three main project types now. In our first scenario, the project type from the template is set to controls. You'll notice this indicated by the controls label here at the top of the page. The control testing period input filters the available controls by the testing period of their test steps. It's useful when you want to focus your project on a specific round, and you can choose multiple rounds at once if needed. Let's try it out. Click round 1 for this example. You can remove filters by hitting the X icon on the badge. Since we won't be filtering by testing period for this example, click the X. The Show Only Key Controls checkbox, enabled by default, lets you further filter your list. Key controls are those that prevent or detect material errors or fraud within a process. In the Selection section, we see two different lists: Available Processes and Controls, and Project Processes and Controls. Since we haven't selected any controls for our project yet, the right list is blank. As you can see, the controls are grouped by process, but you can also scroll down to choose individual controls if you prefer. To add them to the project, check the boxes next to the controls you want to include. Then click Move to Project to add them. Select the LY process, which contains 6 controls. Let's also select LS for this example, then click Move to Project. Now we can see the processes we selected and the associated controls are on the right list and were successfully imported into the project. To remove any controls from the project, check the box next to the controls you want to remove, and click Remove from Project. Check the box next to LS. Click Remove from Project. Now that we know how to move and remove controls, let's go to our Testing tab to see our imported controls. On the left sidebar, navigate to Testing, then click Tests. Let's click into the drop-down on the process we selected to see our imported controls. Below you can see the controls we selected as in scope for our project. Now let's practice importing frameworks, our second scenario. Let's click into the drop-down to select a pre-populated framework. Select CSF. Now that we selected CSF as the framework, the list of available controls is populated with its domains. Let's select Asset Management. Click Move to Project. As we just demonstrated, you can include and remove frameworks the same way as controls. Let's go to the Testing tab to view the work papers. We can click through the framework and view the work paper generated for each requirement. Below are the framework work papers. Let's finish with objectives. Objectives have a different import process from controls and frameworks. You have two options. You can either create the objectives manually, or you can import objectives from Excel. Let's walk through how to do both. For importing objectives from an Excel file, click Import Objectives. On the pop-up, there is a link to download an objectives template for you to fill out. Once you fill out the template, you are ready to import into the project. Click Upload File. We imported 3 objective groups. Let's click into the Planning group by clicking the drop-down icon. Now we can see one of the objectives within the Planning group, along with its accompanying work steps. The other way to create objectives in a project is to enter them manually. First, we must create an objective group. Click Create Group. Name the objective group. For this example, we will name it Planning. You can also nest an objective group within existing groups with this dropdown. For this demo, we'll keep it simple and create just one group for our objective. Click Create to create the group. Now that we have an objective group, we can create an objective. Click Create Objective. Give the objective a title and a description. Click the drop-down icon to select a group for the objective. Click Planning to place the objective in the planning group. Now we need to enter work steps. For this example, we will create 2. Type in the activity, then click the plus icon to add it as a step and see the next field appear. Let's type in one more step and click the plus icon again. If you don't click the plus icon, the step isn't created and can't be saved. Now we can see the 2 test steps we created for our new objective. Let's click Create to save them. Here you can see the test steps we created, separated by a comma. Let's go to the Testing tab to view the work papers. Click the drop-down next to the Planning group. Here's the objective, Planning Overview. Click the drop-down to view the work paper and work steps. The objective work paper lets you view the work steps for the objective. You can also record your results with supplemental AI assistance and add other relevant information, including any issues discovered, linked work papers, and attachments. Thank you for working through this demonstration of using the Project Scope tab. Have a great day.